boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, 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 ba-dum. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. What's up, Tony? Tony's in here before streaming even starts. Yeah, I'm gonna get there super early. Overachiever. Okay, we're live. Cool beans. Coo, coo, coo. Coo, coo, coo. Alright, let's do this, Brutus. Alright, so I figured out what the issue was. And I somehow managed to fix it, I believe. So the issue we were having last week is as I was trying to connect these two fields, there was a certain spot that every time I went over it with the plow, crashed us. Okay, it crashed or locked the server up because it was failure. I think it was the lines. What I'm using, like it was trying to generate as I was doing it, and I think I was locking it up. I don't know. But basically what I did was I plowed a certain length and saved. Plowed a certain length, saved. Plowed a certain length, saved. And I just kept doing that. And it locked up again. And somehow I managed to like get out and get back in my tractor. And it moved again. And then I quickly saved. And it locked back up. Restarted the server. And then it was fine. So I think I fixed it just by slamming through it. So we shall see. If I get here with the cultivator and it locks up again, I'm gonna have to like create something in this field that just makes us go around it. But I think I fixed it. I think I did. It was like in was it right here or is it right there? It's right. It's either before or after that little mark. So that's where I went in at. What's up, Chad the Lad? How are you? I'm doing well, sir. How are you guys this evening? I no lad anymore. Yeah, you are. You always the lad. Boom. What's this guy doing? Well, that was quick. Why does this look like screws? That's supposed to be dirt? Just mirrors. It look like little screws down there. That's weird. Just a bit weird. Moment of truth. If I do this line without crashing the server, that means I indeed fixed the issue. We just gotta get down this row first. I think I can. I think I can. We're approaching the danger zone. Maybe. Okay, like I said, it's either right before this, we made it through that. I'd say we get halfway down the rest of the line before I start celebrating. Like where that notch pokes out there. I think we did it. We didn't crash. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So, Phoenix fella. I've midnighted. I spoke too soon. Oh, saving. Okay. Woo. Phew. I was starting to sweat there for a minute. Or a second, I should say. That wasn't no minute. This field's gonna be massive, bro. Absolutely massive. Boogie woogie choo-choo train. There for a second I thought that was just to roll the window down. I mean, that's what it looks like. They just crank on it. Roll the window down. What's that for? Oh, is that for the windshield wiper? Kind of looks like it. Big Bud Tractors Inc. So many levers. Where's the AC controls at? Because those are AC vents, right? Where's the AC controls at? Or are they? Is that like a defrost sort of feature? I don't even see controls for that. I don't see climate controls in here. Maybe it's one of the levers. That's a joke. That's 100% a joke. Someone's gonna be like, "No, it's not for the climate controls, you idiot." I wish there was a zoom function. So I can zoom in and see what the buttons say. I'm easily fascinated. Yeah, I mean, there's clearly vents there, but I don't see anything. That's a radio, right? Maybe you come over here. Age again. Well, this knob is for down there. Again, better than some big butt interiors that I've seen. Shake my head. I mean, all the ones that come out on Mod Hub are actually really good. Like, they look really good. I haven't had a complaint. I mean, there are some of the back in the day. But then again, that was every tractor. Back in the day, what was it, like 13, where everything was kind of looked like San Andreas, where everything was like pixelated and everything on the inside. Like, you didn't have a design, like this wasn't a design, like you could clearly see the material on this. It would just been like a pixelated PNG back in the day. So, I mean, all tractors have gotten better, but yeah, this is pretty nice in the inside. I'm not knocking it at all. I like it. It's just I wish the game had a function where I can zoom in on the dash and look. I guess it looks high quality. Like it looks like you can read it. It's just the writing's so small and you're sitting so far away that you kind of can't read it. Like I can clearly read that, but like these little buttons, I can't read that. Then again, if you zoom in, it's probably gonna start to pixelate and all that. But still looking for the climate control buttons. Again, or that could just be like a defrost. Because this thing, I don't think this has like climate control. Oh yeah, it does. You just open the door and let the air in. That's your climate control. Big mud. Whee! She dirty. Was I doing something down here? Oh, I don't know what that was doing. I gotta figure all that. Once we finish here, I'll jump around and see what else I was working on. This field was kind of my primary focus because, well, it kept crashing the server. That's 100% on me. 100% my fault. I'm guilty. I was crashing it out. But that was me. I took the trees out and made that one field. What? Here? Oh, okay. I see. All right. All right. I was gonna grass over up to the trees and put some chicken houses there. So. Do. So the only thing we have left to harvest is 16, right? Everything else is done, I think. Oh no, 26 and 12. What's 26 and 12? 30's grass. I guess we can green alpha. Okay, we gotta cultivate over that one. And 12 is corn? Yeah. Alright. And everything's done. So we just gotta plow it, cultivate it, pick rocks, and then start planting. Gotta figure out what to plant though. Think about doing potatoes in this field. That's a lot of potatoes right there. Technically, we could combine 2 and 7 as well. Oh, no, it looks like we had. Well, there's a ditch there. If there's not a ditch there, we can just combine 10 and 11 and then just combine 7 and 2. We'll look at it. I think that might be a ditch back there, though. So the only way we can get to there is through this road. But if there's no ditch and this is just a road, we could just right over it. I'm okay with that. Big fields. More yields. I don't know. I got light gray, dark gray, and another gray. That's my bad. I'm colorblind. busted around. I think 2 more strips and we're done here. There we are. They're good. They're nice. $16 does need to be a harvester, or did our... Oh, I already harvested it, so we just need to cultivate it. Okay. Well, skibidi weep right on over there. You can take care of that one too. Romber, 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 What's in your hand? In your hand, romber. The forecast says snow. Oh, it's December. That's why. I love this assisted steering. Thinking about it more, I see plenty of detailed interiors, but a lot of times they're not detailed or wrong, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah, okay, so that happens a lot where people just take interiors that they find and make it fit the stuff that like they... It happens a lot of times. I know what you mean. I don't necessarily know about tractors, but I do know in a lot of like pickup trucks, they'll just find interiors that are similar to what it's supposed to be, and then they'll just stuff it in there and try to make it fit, but it's not the right interior. I've seen that a lot over the years. Like I said, I don't know much about tractor interiors, so I couldn't say anything about that, but I do know what you mean when it comes to like other stuff like semi trucks and pickup trucks. Like, look at the how many of them use like that default semi, like the from what was it 19? They just use the default semi interior for everything. They even did it for the Mack trucks. Like a lot of the Mack trucks were using the same exact interior from the in-game Mack truck, even though it's like an older Mack. Interiors, from my little bit of modding knowledge, to have someone 3D model an interior, it's harder than the exterior, and to have someone do it for you, it costs a lot more money. So a lot of times these modders just take parts from, you know, whatever's floating about. This guy, that's me. That's me, the D-O-double-G. Oh, I'm sure, but like at least get the same brands. Yeah, I have seen John Deere interiors with like New Holland logos on it and stuff like that. I know what you mean by that. I didn't know if you meant like mismatching years and stuff like that. But some people are lazy. Okay, that's one thing I've learned in the modding community. There are a lot of people putting out some really great stuff, but with all the amount of people out there that are putting out awesome stuff, there's the same amount of people who are just lazy, absolutely lazy. And I know some people are gonna be like, "But you don't mod, so I guess you're lazy." I guess you can call me that. You know, I don't want to waste my time learning how to do the newer games. I enjoy modding 17 for like my fire trucks and stuff. I have no desire to learn how to mod the newer games. I just don't. I used to, but just all the negativity and all of like just having to pay for, because I would be completely lost trying to learn a 3D model. These guys at 3D model and stuff, geniuses. All right, geniuses. But I can't. So, but for every one good modder, I'd say there's like 5 lazy modders that will just take parts off anything they can find to shove into their mod. And I call myself, that's what I do. I Frankenstein mods together to fit what I want. So I don't call myself a modder. I call myself an editor, because I edit mods that are already out. Can I take a truck or take a 3D model and game it in 17? Yep. But don't do it very often. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say people like Wood Meadow Farm modding, they made the majority of fire trucks and public work trucks for 22. They would be a lazy modder. Yeah, because a lot of their stuff they just convert over. And don't get me wrong, Adam's done some cool stuff, but like his his old school fire trucks were just like the pump panels were PNGs. Like they weren't even like modeled. They were just, it was a picture on the side of the truck. So that's all I'm saying. And a lot of it, like he pulls trucks from other games that aren't like all of his fire trucks. If I remember correctly, I was told that they were out of like the emergency games or something. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what somebody told me. Yes, I hate PNG textures. Those were 2D as well. Yeah. So like I told Jesse this. Like Jesse is doing crazy work in 17 still. Okay. He is making stuff that we've wanted to come to fruition for that game for so long. He's making it a reality. All right. He's doing awesome work, and he said something about he's holding on to a 10-year-old game, but like I don't think the stuff would look as good in the newer games. That you could just be me, but he is still putting in work. He's still doing, like, he's still learning that 10-year-old game. Whereas there's other certain people, I won't mention any names, but I despise them for the piece of shit that he is. He has released the same trucks from Farm Sim 17 to Farm Sim 19 to Farm Sim 22 to Farm Sim 25. He has done the same exact vehicles, the same exact, like, there's no options, it's just color changeable, there's nothing special about him. He has done the same exact thing, all 4 versions, and people think he is like one of the best modders. And it's like, he hasn't done anything to update his mods. He hasn't done anything. With all the cool improvements that we've had over the years, he has done nothing to add to his mods at all. And I could be biased because he's a piece of shit person, but I don't think he's great at all. And like he doesn't. He takes the models. I know exactly where he got his models from because the same person showed me where to get them. So I don't know. Yes, I hate PNG textures. They review. I'm not talking about Adam here. Let me put that. I've had my own gripes with Adam, aka Wood Meadow. He was calling himself something else there for a long time. Got my own gripes with him, but he has done some cool stuff, and he has at least tried to improve his mods over the years. I will give him credit for that. The guy I'm talking about literally has done jack squat. He has put out the same exact trucks I should say, every single game, and has done nothing, like add nothing to it, no options, just color changeable. Some of them are even color changeable. I'm not talking about, I'm talking with Meadowdawning. If I know who you're talking about. Good. If you know who I'm talking about, good, because he's a piece of shit person. Lied to my community, stole money from my community, and has done absolutely nothing with it. Screw that guy. Absolutely screw that guy. I think the problem is with a lot of these people is they get into it for the wrong reasons. They either get in to make money or to like get some sort of notoriety for it, and that's not how it's supposed to be done. It's not. If you want to get famous for it, go develop your own game. You know? Stop piggybacking off someone else's work and then charging for it. That's the other one that gets me. People who just convert like Jesse's mods to the newer games and then charge you a monthly subscription fee for it. And they don't even look as good. Like they take everything away from what made the mods great. All they do is convert it, and they don't know what they're doing because they just convert the actual thing over. They don't put any thought or effort into it, and then charge you a monthly fee for it. There's someone who's making super detailed fire apparatus for FS25, a bunch of animated stuff, and a bunch of options from what I've seen. I haven't seen it. The only fire trucks that I've seen is the brush truck that came out. I mean, there's been some like are they German fire trucks or European? I don't know. I don't know the difference. And their trucks, I've seen some few of those come out, but I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, the same guy who made the brush truck, making the CV brush truck. I've seen that, if that's what you're talking about. The little brush truck was neat. I did like it. I don't like the truck, but I did like the features for that. It was pretty cool. Look at all them rocks. Oh my god. Oh wait. Oh, I need to lime like crazy. Holy shiitake mushrooms. TV mini pumper. Yeah, there you go. I'll stick with 17 though for my fire trucks. I like, and especially what is coming, you guys don't even know. Unless you are in the TLO Facebook or Discord group, you don't even know what's coming down the chute. Oh. Like I said, Jesse, absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. I cannot be more happy that I just trashed his mods when he was a kid. Oh, that's my lime tractor. Okay. Alright. JT, if your goofy ass is still... Oh, hello, how you doing? JT, if your goofy ass is still around, I bought the what's it, sandwich shop simulator or whatever. Did you say something? I was running my mouth.
I was just asking how you doing.
Oh, I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Oh, just dandy.
Just dandy on this Friday evening?
Yeah, I guess.
Nice. Nice.
Best I can, dude.
Well, looks like we got snow in the forecast here in the server.
Yeah. I'd like to get excited about that. But it's pretty tough because the game's just gotten progressively worse for me.
Okay, JT. JT 2.0 here.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where the guy goes as well.
It's just the way it is.
Stuff basically build a custom interior first truck for a ton of accessories, radios, WG scanners, etc. Nice. Oh, I wanted to take that up there. I'll let Tony handle it, and I'll start liming. I guess time will tell what Jesse's making. This guy's making. Well, when I say what Jesse's making, well, he has it's not really. He's made some great trucks, but what I'm talking about has nothing to do with trucks. It's all in-game features that we have wanted for a good roleplay server for the longest time. It's gonna beat, in my opinion, is gonna beat any 5M server that we've seen. That's just my opinion. With the amount of features, like maybe not graphics wise, because it is Farm Sim 17. There's only so much you can do graphically, but the feature wise is amazing. It is amazing, in my opinion. Do we have a rock picker upper? They're also announced the emergency package coming back to the FS25. Buddy, I'm telling you. That doesn't matter. The emergency pack that was in 2022 has nothing on what Jesse's working on for 17. I'll say that much. Again, if you're in the TLO Discord, you already know he's teased a lot of it. But it's what we actually want in an emergency pack. This is me. And I've said this numerous times. The fire trucks don't look any better in 22. They didn't look any better in 19. I highly doubt they're going to look better in 25. That's just my opinion. The lighting patterns and everything, so much better in 17. And we have now, because of Jesse, scripts that have, we want it for a long time. Toggleable rotor rays. We have that in game now. There's a big shoes to fill, but we'll see. I don't doubt them. I'm telling you, I have played with a few of the features that he has been working on. Just a little bit, just a tad bit. Like I haven't got my hands on because he's not done. He's not done at all. But let me put it this way: imagine being able to place a call out, it show up on your map, being able to assign units to it, being able to see all the assigned units, being able to show up on scene if it's a fire, put it out, and not just like bale fires or just random pop-up fires. No, I'm talking about like house fires and stuff like that. Imagine that. Ooh boy. I can't wait for July. Oh, he's got the rock picker upper. If I lime, well, I guess if I lime, does that affect him? I guess I can go do 23. I'll go lime 23 while he is working on these fields, or has AI working on these fields, I should say. Don't get me wrong. The emergency pack that was out in 22 when it first came out, that's cool. That was cool. But it doesn't have the amount of customability and the other features I kind of said. It doesn't have all that with it. This is going to be nice. I can't wait. Can't wait for July. I guess JT showed up, so this guy left. What a bum.
That's it.
Yeah, I was telling him I bought a game because he was playing, so I bought a game because it's supposed to be multiplayer, so I could play it with him. He hasn't said anything. I guess he left. What a bum.
Just the chat.
Yeah, no, he didn't come. He doesn't come in here on Fridays. Are you crazy?
Yeah,
he's too good for that.
They're not good enough.
What are you talking about? He is JT Hardsbit of St. Joseph, Missouri. We're peasants to him.
Well, you know, everyone's got wild opinions.
That really is an understatement.
Yeah, I know. Just trying to be respectful.
Today's day and age, people are batshit crazy. And so are their opinions. Especially if you're from St. Joseph, Missouri.
Apparently.
I mean, if you live in a place where when a tornado comes to town, you sit out on your front porch just hoping it takes you anywhere. Take me to Oz. Take me to Oz. Maybe a little crazy. You know, most people buy like storm shelters and stuff to hide out in, not in St. Joseph, Missouri. They go out on the front porch. It's nader watching season.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing about tornadoes. It's like you can actually do that. Like you could sit out on your porch and just like watch a tornado and not be affected by it at all. Like, our natural disasters, we don't have that luxury.
I don't know. The Floridians, they hear a hurricane coming, they go out and jump in their boat.
That's just out of stupidity or negligence.
Like, woohoo, we're gonna ride on some waves. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about my lawnmower
Oh yeah.
debacle that ensued. Oh man. So I think I told you that I was supposed to be getting it back.
Yeah.
All right. So
Wait, what was wrong with it again?
so it was just like stalling under load, like when you turn the PTO on,
Oh.
and then after that, it would just continue to just stall when you started it up, and there wasn't any fuel getting into the engine. So like I replaced the fuel filter and like siphoned the gas out, and then put some carb cleaner in, So I actually like took off the carb, cleaned the carb, and that was about like all I was willing to mess with. Considering like I've taken apart like small gas engines, but not like this specific one. I just didn't want to mess around with it.
I don't blame you.
So yeah,
Especially
so I
if it's
called
new,
them,
it's still under warranty, isn't it?
depending.
Oh.
So I called them up and wanted them to do some work on it. And they're like, cool, can you bring it here? And I was like, no. And they're like, okay, so we can send someone out to pick it up, but it'll be next week. And this started in like early April.
Good Lord.
No, mid April. No, early April. And because the timing matters here. And they're like, all right, yeah, we can pick it up next week. And it'll be about like 4 weeks. And I was like, that really sucks, but okay. And then I waited, and then the day that they said that they were going to pick it up, they didn't. So I called them, and they're like, oh, well, that's weird. Turns out the guy I talked to is the same guy. There's only one service manager there. And he didn't put it in the system when I called him the first time. So he put a rush, a quote unquote rush on it. So he's like, we can come get it next week. But the lead time on it is like around like 4 weeks still. And I was like, okay, so that's like a good chunk of May. Not ideal, but I'll figure it out. Okay. So they picked it up, and I didn't hear anything for 4 weeks. And then they called me, and they're like, yeah, it looked like, our guy took it apart, and it looks like you just had a bunch of stuff in the tank. So they cleaned the tank out, and it's all good. So we'll have it back to you next week. And I was like, awesome. Cool. I paid for it when he called me. And it was $1,200.
Fucking A, bud.
Mm-hmm. So they delivered it. It showed up on Wednesday this week. And I was all sorts of jazzed all day long at work. I was like, I can't wait to get home. I'm going to mow the shit out of the yard because I've been borrowing Mark's mower. Yeah, but I'm at his disposal in terms of like I can only mow when he mows, and I don't know what day that's gonna be. So there was this day like a couple weeks ago, and I was just like so spent from work, and I was like turned the corner onto our street, and I saw the mower was sitting there on the corner of his property, like a showroom. It was like perfectly angled, all washed up, and I was like, fuck, now I guess I'm mowing the lawn. So I've been kind of having to do that. But I got it back. And yeah, my grass was about a foot tall. Shit you not.
Ugh.
And I went right down to mowing, and I got like, I do like 2 laps around the perimeter of the whole property, and then I get going. And so I did the 2 laps, and I was like halfway through the front yard, and it stalled. And I was just completely aghast. I just was not expecting that at all. I was like, what the hell? And it was doing the exact same thing. So I ended up having to like push it across the yard into the driveway. And I called the place, and they keep like bankers hours. So their hours are literally, it's like 8 o'clock to 4:30 on weekdays. And they don't have a voicemail system. So I called first thing Thursday morning and was like, what? Not only did this happen again, but like, what did the guy do to it? Because I didn't get an invoice or like a breakdown of anything that they did. And I didn't even get a receipt for paying. So like, what did they do? So, because it's not fixed. And I made the guy read the entire thing to me. And I was like, okay. Which consisted of they took the tank off, they cleaned the tank, and then put the tank back on and power washed the mower and drove it around a little bit. And I was like, cool, it's not fixed. 1,000% I want my money back. And they're like, well, no. My director is in a meeting. He'll call you afterwards. And the guy called me later in the morning and he's like, yeah, actually, we have a road technician that's like out in your town today. So I'll get a hold of him and he'll come by after, like at the end of the day to fix it. And I was like, okay. Then I got off the phone and I was like, wait a second, that was an option this entire time. I paid like of the $1,200, $300 of it was transportation fees for them having to come and pick it up and drop it off. So this guy shows up on Thursday afternoon and he like backs his truck up and like drops the ramp and he's got like a full on, like literally it was just a mechanic shop in the back of his truck. And these guys spend all of their time going out to like farms and stuff. So they service like everything John Deere. So they do like tractors, harvesters, everything. And here's little old me with a lawn tractor, this thing showing up, backing into my driveway. And he like drove it around a little bit and he's just like, yeah, it really feels like it's something with the tank. And so he pulled it apart there and pulled like the fuel pump that's in the tank, not the one that's on the engine, the one that's like in the tank. He like pulled that out and got his little air compressor and just did like a quick, and all this shit blew out from that. And he's like, I promise you that was the problem. And based on the fact that like the factory tape was still on the fuel lines that were like taped down onto the tank, he's like, they didn't pull the tank off, the guys at the shop, at all. And I was like, wait, you have to be kidding me. And he's like, no, listen, like, there's a few people there that just are the worst. And he's like, I go to these after, like tacking them on to the end of my day calls for this specific tech all the time. But like, I won't name names and I'm not going to like call them out at work over it, but like, it's annoying. So like he fixed it. It took him probably 45 minutes. And he had he took off like the whole shell. Then he had it like stripped down in like 5 minutes. Got to work, got it done, put it back together. Yeah, he was actually like a pretty cool dude, which is you don't see too often, but yeah, so then he was like, I have to check to see if they're going to charge you for this. Like, they shouldn't, but they might. But if they try to charge you, just try to fight it. And so I called this morning And they were like, they were going to charge me. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen because I'm actually still going to ask for my money back for the whole thing. And they're like, okay, all right, we won't charge you. And then I was also like, how dare you not offer this roadside service thing to me to begin with? And he's like, okay, yeah. It's just because they make more money off of it.
That's our last ditch effort after, we fuck things up for you.
Yeah. And then I told them that, like, whoever they had in the shop is a total piece of shit. And the fact that I had to wait, like, essentially 5.5 weeks without a mower for absolutely no reason. Like, yeah, sorry.
But you mowed with it after he did what he did. It's worked fine, right?
Yeah, so the funny thing is, so he left, and their policy is they always leave with they leave you with a full tank of gas. So when they delivered it to me, there was a full tank of gas. And because there was still the issue, the guy that came, he had to drain the tank. So he dumped it into a bucket. But then he wasn't expecting this call, so he didn't have any gas. So I went out after he left, got some gas, and mowed my whole lawn last night. And then at 7:15 this morning, he texted me, and he's like, "Hey, he's like, the second I woke up this morning, I realized that I didn't put a hose clamp on one of the hoses. So if you want, I can just after my last call, I can head out your way and put that back on." And I was like, "No, man, I actually bought all of that stuff, so I have a bunch of hose clamps, so I can do that." And he's like, and I'm gonna come and fill up your tank for you. I don't need that. But then he told me that the clamp that he forgot to put on was underneath, at the tank, so you have to pull apart the whole assembly again. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that, so you can just come on out here. But I appreciated the fact that he actually he left here yesterday at 5:30, and so he had his whole night to himself. He slept, and the first thing that he thought of when he woke up in the morning was oh shit, I forgot a clamp. And then made sure to come out and fix it.
Meanwhile, the jackasses at the dealership were
compared to the rest of the work, he literally charged, the guy at the shop charged for 4 hours of labor. The guy that came out here spent a total of 1 hour. But the cost ends up being the same because it's more expensive for the road crew to come out.
Yep, because they got to pay.
But I had to change.
I had a buddy that worked for a John Deere dealership here. That's what he did. He just went from farm to farm, fixing shit on tractors.
Yeah, well, he came yesterday, and I was just so interested because I know you can take everything apart if you really want, but there's and a small gas engine is a small gas engine, but it's set up in such a unique way that you don't want to take it apart and potentially not be able to put it back together. So when he showed up Thursday, I was just I know this is weird, but can I just I dropped the tailgate on my truck. It's can I just watch you ask some questions? And he was like, yeah, sure. But during the process, I was asking him about what other types of stuff he works on, what's his favorite thing to work on, what's his least favorite, and then what's the one that always comes in with problems. And so he said the S100 mower from Home Depot or Lowe's, they hate working on because they're just junk. And his favorite to work on is a I think it was like an 8R. But when he has to go work on the like farming tractors, they have to have a tech guy come out too. Like an IT guy.
Yeah, 'cause it's all computer shit. What's in them these days?
I know. Well, I was looking for my like invoice the other day, so I have like a John Deere account. And so it's like signed into that, and you can do all of your like GPS tracking and like plotting and everything like that. You can do it on their website. And then whenever you like plot and stuff, like it feeds to your little like computer screen in your tractor. So I was like, I wonder if I can do that with like with my lawn.
Oh my god. Having the whole GPS set up just to mow your lawn.
Yeah, I've got like an iPad like taped onto the foot of it. He also told me an interesting thing about the tractors. So like anytime they do the work on the engine, they take the hood off and they move it like extremely far away from the tractor, and they're very delicate like when they handle it. So because he like took mine off and like walked over to like the other side of the yard and put it down, and he's like, good, now that that thing's out of the way, like, you don't want to mess with that. And I was like, why? He's like, well, I was like, the hood itself is, he's like, I would venture to guess that it's around 50% of the like total cost of the tractor.
The fuck?
Yeah. He's like, if you like mess that up or like dent it or scratch it or something like that, you might as well just buy them a new tractor. Like, I was so surprised by that. I didn't ask any follow-up questions, but I really should have.
Yeah, I want to know what's so
Like,
special about the
why?
hood.
So I assumed it's just the fact that like John Deere's have like it's like the logo, the colors, the shape that are unique. But I don't know why it costs so much. Unless it's just like a branding thing.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah. But so I mowed the lawn yesterday, and little did I know that I was mowing the whole time without the hose clamp on it. So like, I'm really glad that I didn't make things worse. But I'm sure that that guy was really glad that it didn't just blow off.
No kidding.
Yeah, so now that I'm thinking about it in real time, now I can understand why he wanted to come out and fix that. But the good thing is, like, out of all of that, like, it was super annoying and frustrating that I had to deal with just incompetency. I kind of expect it these days.
Unfortunately, you take it to a dealership, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get people that fuck off and do nothing.
Yeah. So that's like I've come to a couple conclusions. Just like one, I'm not going back there, which is really unfortunate because there aren't many dealerships around here, and this one is literally on my way to work. So like that's nice. The next closest one is like, I don't know, 20 minutes north of where my brother lives. So that's like a, I don't know, probably close to an hour drive.
I could throw a
And the
rock
second
and
thing
hit a
is-
John Deere dealership.
Yeah.
The same place where
And,
the
you'd
first tractor John Deere ever made is sitting.
You'd think they'd have more options, but it's also just like in Massachusetts.
You don't
like,
have. You're not like a very rural place up there.
I mean, once you get, I mean, there's a couple cities in central Mass, but I'm more of like northern Mass, between like central and eastern. Like once you get past the town that I live in, it gets pretty rural quick. Like we have farms in our town, like big farms. So the fact that like west of where we live, there's only like one John Deere dealership. But once you get out into like western Mass, like it's all farmland or mountains. So it's surprising that outside of this one, the closest ones to me are in New Hampshire. But I'm also just going to buy a utility trailer, like one of those like 5x8 utility trailers.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could have just like rented a trailer from U-Haul. You
Yeah,
got
I
there
know.
that day.
My wife and I talked about that. Hindsight, I probably should have. But I figured, like, if it's $300 to, like, have them pick it up and drop it off.
If
I wanna have
anything
this
goes
thing for-
wrong with it from there to here, or from there to your
Yeah,
house,
like, if I have to bring it there, or, like, if I have issues, like, 4 times over the life of having this thing, which we're on year 1 and already. So, like, the likelihood's pretty good. Then I was like, I'm just gonna go to Tractor Supply and buy one. Plus, we can use it for so many other things. Don't twist my arm. I'll just get one of those.
yeah, because your little chick truck can only haul so much.
I know. I was actually telling my old manager officially, because I've switched out into a different thing at work. But I've been in this like in between stage for like 3 months, and I like technically up until like yesterday I did not really report to anyone. So I was just doing my own thing. It was actually kind of nice. But I had to leave work on Thursday early to meet the guy that was coming out here. And I was just like, well, shit. My new manager is off this week. And, like, I technically don't report to, like, the guy I've been reporting to for the past year anymore. But I feel like I need to tell someone. So I just like told my old manager, and then I was explaining everything that happened. He was just like, oh my God.
Oh my god, that's horrible. But yeah, you can't leave.
Well, the nice thing is, like, I knew he wasn't going to say anything. Because, like,
Wait,
I'm
the
not reporting
boss
to
that
him.
you had, like, problems with?
Yeah. So, like, my role has changed because, like, the area that I was responsible for, like, the budgets and stuff, like, we moved it over to, like, a different part of the company because what I was handling was, like, one of two things, and they both reported up to, like, the chief medical officer. But we were doing everything separately. And it just made sense to combine the two and just, like, combine all the budgets for the areas and just have one person doing it. But, like, the other half of the budget was much larger.
Can you write yourself out of the budget again?
So, no, I literally didn't do anything this time.
This is a modified version of Owendale, Michigan.
Which might be my downfall. For once. Not doing enough. But yeah, that moved away, and then I was supposed to be working for, like, my manager's manager. And doing, like, a bunch of, like, higher level reporting, which didn't exist before. So I was, like, pretty jazzed about that. And then I was going to switch teams over to this other lady who is in our area, and she seems okay. And her team's pretty cool. But then I found out that, like, my boss's boss guy, like, he's actually changing into a different role, which was kind of crushing. But I'm still going over to this other team. And I talked to my what's going to be my new manager, like probably like 3 weeks ago, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I put in the request to, like, change you into our org, and we'll be all set." And that just didn't happen. So I've been, like, attending. Both teams have, like, weekly meetings. So I've been attending 2 weekly meetings and, like, onboarding someone in my old area.
Flipped it.
And doing some of the new stuff. So I've just been, like, all over the place for the past, like, 3 months.
Good lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty stressful because this entire time we've also been, in all of our forecasts, been, like, cutting head count.
No.
Just, like,
I didn't mean to do that.
either not hiring new people
Son of a-
or holding flat to whatever the head count is, meaning, like, if a department lost like 3 people, like, we're just not replacing them. And then it's gotten to, like, we're actually gonna be, like, cutting people. And I'm the only one in this area of, like, 100 people that just, like, doesn't have a home. So I've just been terrified.
You've made yourself cut worthy.
Yeah. But, like, literally didn't do anything. For once, I was just doing my job. Like, I was covering the area that I was supposed to be covering. And it's not my fault that it got moved. So, but they kind of have a problem now because I've been at the company for over 5 years now. And there's no tenure in this world, but, like, they'll take care of the people that have been there for a long time. So I think they're like trying to do everything that they can to cover me. But I really don't have anything to do right now. And I don't really report to anyone. So that's why I was like, so I filled him in on everything, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just leaving. I'm leaving for the day. And he was like, okay. So we started summer.
Snitch you out and like, so I just want everybody to know PJ's left early.
Oh, I'll rat him out on so much more. It's kind of why we're getting along now, is because like I don't report to him anymore, and we have had this like, you know, like the mutual destruction button that you can press. It was like we had that going on. And that doesn't work out well when one reports to the other, but if you're separated, then it's like a peace agreement. So we've actually been good for essentially all of this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't snitch on me, bitch. Oh, we got snow.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting next few months. That's for sure. I can't get laid off again, though. Just really can't. Wouldn't be very good timing.
Not with having to pay $1,200 to get your fucking tractor fixed after you just bought it.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't help. But you gotta understand, like, up here, like, I don't know. Everything's like $1,000. Everything. Now. Not specific, like, normal day-to-day stuff isn't, but like anytime you want anything done that involves like house related things, it's $1,000. Want a plumber to come out? It's gonna be $1,000 minimum.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was actually like finally getting through to my mom, who is like a classic boomer that's just like, oh, all you need to do is just work harder. Like, you guys don't work as hard. Yeah, we were talking about like we're gonna be taking some time off soon, and she's like, I don't understand why you guys don't like vacation and stuff, and like, you know, go away like on the weekends, like, you know, go up to Vermont or New Hampshire. And it's like, yeah, I don't think you understand that like things cost like 3 times as much as they did, the commodities, and like the living wages have not gone up in proportion to that. It's like everything is more expensive, and we don't have as much time on our hands. It's like, you know, I brought up a good point of like, think about like, I don't know, think about being an adult in like 1995. Like, your life's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Like she was saying, originally she was saying that like the fact that we don't do anything is like in general is the fact that we like, you know, doom scroll on our phones all the time. And I was like, yeah, the reason we doom scroll is because we get like a half hour or like an hour total on any given day to like not have to do anything. That's what that time is. But, like our days are more consumed with everything than it would have been in like the 90s. Because like everything's digital. Like you have your bills, you have communications, you have work. So it's like it takes a lot more time and effort to maintain a lifestyle than it used to.
Mm-hmm.
And this boomer actually agreed. She's like, you're right.
You should have got that on recording because you probably won't get that again.
I know. Because it was like in 1995, you wouldn't have had to deal with, like, you know, literally, like, outside of work, like 2 days back to back of dealing with, oh, I don't know, like dealing with your lawnmower. It just would have been done. Or, actually, like, the problem wouldn't have happened in the first place.
Yeah, because show was made better back then.
Right. But I had like 2 days dedicated towards figuring that out.
Yeah, it was crazy. We were talking. My wife currently makes the same amount that my dad was making when he bought a house. Keep in mind, I grew up. My dad was the only one that worked, so my dad's income purchased everything up until they went through bankruptcy, and then my mom had to start working. But in the 90s, when my dad was making the same amount that my wife's currently making, he bought a house. It was a double wide on an acre of land. We had 3 vehicles because he had the F-250, the Ranger, and then my mom's vehicle. A camper. What else? Every weekend we were going camping. That's off his income alone, which is the same that my wife makes currently, and we can't afford any of that. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah, it really is.
Because we were sitting there, we were like, all right, we really need a second vehicle, and we were just looking at like how much we can afford, and it was just like, how could my parents on one income afford a house, 3 vehicles, a camper, and it's the same amount that my wife alone is currently. That's not even how much I'm, but my wife alone. How we get this far fucked?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was talking about with my mom as well. It's just like we were talking about like having kids and stuff, and like the overall population in the U.S. is like statistically on the decline. And it's like, yeah, because anyone with any financial sense like understands that it financially doesn't make any sense because everything else costs so much. It's like, here's the math on that. Like, if you have two people working full time, your overall income gets essentially cut in half because, like, when you have a kid and you're both working, you have to pay for daycare. And daycare around here, I don't know what it is down there, but I assume it's around the same. It's like $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Full time. So it doesn't negate like an entire income, but it definitely takes a hit to the point where like you need to have two people working. If you're going to do that. And then the other option is, well, to offset that cost, you just have one person stay at home.
Then you're stretching that
But
one
then
paycheck
you're never,
thin.
no, but then you're never going to be able to move forward. Right? Because like one person's income isn't going to increase to the extent that you can like continue to like, or like increase your savings or like save money or anything like that, because you're just going to be breaking even. And then from that point forward, you're just breaking even. So the reason why, like, I mean, at least in this area, like, the people that I know, they're just starting to have kids now. Like, I just had, like, a girl I went to college with in my grade, in my class, it's like my age. Like, she just posted something on Facebook, like a pregnancy announcement. And it's like, yeah, you have to have kids later. Because, like, at least around here, like, you have to save up and put yourself in the best situation, because once you have kids, like, that's it.
Doesn't help that you're a numbers guy.
I just don't want to live in debt. Because, like, that's a scary life to live. Which, like, I know that the vast majority of America just, like, lives in debt. Like, has a bunch of credit cards and, you know, finances everything. I get that. Like, should anything happen to the economy, like, you're absolutely screwed. Like, one, we're heading for another financial crisis, and then another thing that nobody's talking about is what's going to happen economically when all of the boomers die. Because they hold like 70% of the nation's wealth overall. And that money has to go somewhere. And what's going to happen is you're going to see a greater divide in wealth. Because the people that grew up in like middle to upper middle class, like, the parents are going to be leaving them like tons of money. And then those that did not, their parents aren't going to leave them anything. But the boomers make up like the largest portion of the population. So in like 10 years, you're going to see things get very unequal very quickly. Yeah, it's going to cause a whole lot of problems.
I grew up in a family that didn't have anything, so I'm not expecting anything. I'm glad I don't have anything to do with my mother, because she's going to be in debt the day she dies.
Well, what the boomers don't understand, the ones that like save stuff and they just like put it in a, you know, in their will or put it in a trust or something like that, is like it does nobody any good. It was like an article in the Wall Street Journal the other day, and they were talking about how if the greatest thing they could do is to just like whatever they plan on like leaving their offspring or whatever, like the boomers, maybe to like give it to them now because it's most needed now. And it'll prevent this giant bubble.
That's what my stepmom's mother did. She passed right before we left for vacation, which I felt bad because I mean, like the past 10 years or what have you, she's like been at every family dinner and everything. So we got
Yeah,
acquainted.
I'm sorry
with
to hear
her.
that.
And like it was like I told her, I was like, if I could get my money back, we would postpone our trip. And so I just feel bad. And my dad was like, well, she said that you're not blood. I was like, family doesn't end in blood, all right? I was like, I just felt bad. And like before,
well, I mean, you tell your dad, like, if you want to go down that road, then like your spouse isn't blood. So
yeah. So but like as long as I've known my stepmother, it's always been that when the grandmother passed, the grandkids got they got their wealth got split because they had like a huge farm before they retired and went to a retirement village. They sold it all off and they lived the rest of their life off of it, and whatever was left over, it was going to be split into 3 with the only kid and 2 grandkids. And my dad got to talk to him. He's like, you guys worked your ass off. Like her father he like worked on space shuttles. Like he was in the Air Force, and he would go down before they launched the shuttles. Like he would go down and equip shit on them and everything. So like they worked their ass off. He's like, you spend it. Don't worry about how much you leave behind. Spend it. And after her father passed, her mother was like, anytime, because like my dad and stepmom's house needed a new roof, and they were, because my dad's out of work now, so they're like, well, can we afford this? She just whipped it out. How much do you need? and she's like, I'm gonna give it to you now. Like if you need it now, like, use it now. Like don't wait until I'm gone. So my dad was like, he was telling me, he goes, her kids are expecting a payday when she passes. They'll probably get a couple $1,000 each. Like they lived the end of their lives. They lived, and he's like, that's what matters. And that's why I told her, because they had like, because she was living it. So the retirement village they lived in, you start off with like a small house, and then as you age
it progresses into
you
like
go
different
to like
housing.
Apartments, and then
it's like reverse college.
Yeah. So like they were living in an apartment, and they told them like the day after she died, they're like, yeah, you got 30 days to get everything out of here. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was sick, and I was like, I'm here. Like I if I have to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. You tell me what you need me to do. I said, you got me for a week. I said, then I'm gone for a week, and I'm back the 2 weeks after that. And he's like, well, they're up there now. I'm pretty sure the kids are just going through what they want. And he's like, I'm pretty sure her son's going to take all the furniture and everything. I said, well, just, I told him to tell my stepmom's like, I don't want anything except to help. So if she needs help, just call me. He's like, I'm pretty sure you tell her that. I was like, no, you tell her that. I'm like, I'm not going to like diss her kids after her mother just passed.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing with my parents is like my dad is like, he's winding down at work, and like he's always had like he's always had like stipends for like cars and stuff, so he can always have a vehicle. And one of the reasons he's held out is because he's, he doesn't want to have a car payment, but he doesn't want to have the car that he got through them. So he's like, you know what I really want? I really want like a super reliable, like kind of like luxury-ish vehicle, like a used one, and I can just spend the rest of my days with that one vehicle. So he's been looking at like Lexus SUVs. And I'm like, just like, I know that they have the money to buy whatever vehicle they want in cash. And he won't do it. He wants to like keep the savings and like get a used vehicle. And it's like, no, I can't stand that about the generation. It's like, you have all this, just use it. Literally use it. But they'd rather just like keep it in savings, either as like just in case or to like leave to us. And it's like, I'd much rather you guys like do whatever the hell you want. Spent like 30 years raising two delinquents. Takes its toll. Like, reward yourself.
I don't know, it might be smarter for him to buy these new vehicles. Suck ass. You're learning that with your fucking tractor.
Yep. That's true. But he's not doing it for that reason. He's doing it to save money.
Oh yeah. Yesterday, my wife had to go in. Her boss's boss. Well, her boss technically is out. She had to get a knee replacement. So her fill-in boss's boss was coming because they're about to like go through like a revamp, and like he had to visit and make sure everything was ready and everything. So I went with her because it was only supposed to be like a hour-long presentation. I was like, all right, well, I'll go, need some things from the grocery store. I said, I'll kill some time. I'll go in like the new Ollie's to see what they got, check it out. And so I killed an hour, and I got there like a half hour after this thing was supposed to start, and neither of them had showed up. I was like, okay, all right. So I know what her boss's boss drove. Her boss drove, which was a Subaru Legacy, blue with Maryland plates. I knew that. So I didn't know what the woman looked like. So I was like, I texted her. I was like, I just saw a woman with a binder walking in, and I told her, I said, that's your boss's car sitting out here. So was that her? And of course she didn't respond because now her boss is in. So then an older guy and a Subaru Legacy, black Subaru Legacy, pulled up, and I texted her. I was like, yeah, a guy with Virginia plates just pulled up. And I was like, they're driving like the exact same vehicle. The only difference is one's blue and one's black. They're in the exact same vehicle. I didn't think anything of it. So afterwards, my wife finally came out. After it ended up being a 3-hour-long ass meeting instead of an hour-long meeting, and I'm sitting out in the parking lot like twiddling my thumbs, trying to figure out what to do because I drove her. I didn't want to drive the 15 minutes home just to come back with gas prices like it is. So I'm just twiddling my thumbs out in the parking lot. Well, when she finally come out, I was like, was that not her car? And she said, no, it's a company car. So the fill-in boss is using her boss's car. I was like, wait, she gets a company vehicle? I said, now it makes sense because he was driving the exact same vehicle, just in a different color. So they get Subaru Legacies. So if she ever gets to that spot, she gets a company car. A Subaru Legacy. She goes, you don't want a Subaru. Why do you think I want one as a company vehicle? I was like, I don't want a Subaru because I don't want everybody to assume that I'm gay. No offense.
I just kind of want no. I mean, like, that's a sick perk. I'm not like, why a company car?
So she's store manager. Her boss is the district manager and has
so to drive around to a bunch of stores. Gotcha.
I think she said she has 17 stores under her. And then her boss's boss is the boss for the entire region. And
right.
He has so many stores that he's actually, this store is open in 2001. I'm pretty sure he hasn't been there since 2001. But in his time there, he's never once stepped foot in that store. His first time ever visiting. So I can only imagine how far he travels. But her boss is like, I think all the stores in like southern Delaware and then parts of Maryland she covers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's grass. Hell, their reimbursement program, Jesus Christ, she got paid more for her mileage going to her where she was training than I think she got paid for the day. That's what.
Yeah.
It was a different temporary boss was like, yeah. She's like, make sure you sign up for the fuel reimbursement program. It makes it worth it. And then she was calculating it up. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then she ended up having to drive to DC one day. That was a good paycheck.
Yeah. Well, they do that to keep up motivation. Although things have changed, if she's hourly, then things have changed with that.
No, no longer. She's salaried.
Oh yeah, that's right.
New position means salaried.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good and bad.
Yeah. Find that one out. Like, because Thursday was supposed to be her day off. So we had plans. And then it's like, oh, by the way, such and such showing up on Thursday. And then we had to play that, like, he was originally supposed to be there at 10, and then the night before, because she was like, well, I'll just set my alarm for 8 and then go in. And then the night before, get a message, oh, his schedule's changed, I'll let you know when I know something. It's like, all right. And then every single day, like, I want to say at least 50% of the days that we were gone, the two under her were calling for something. I was just like, fucking vacation.
Yep. Yep. That's the way it goes. Unfortunately, it's just with more money comes more responsibility.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can't, like, we have to plan time off like 6 months in advance. It's just because it's my wife. Although, hey, we are coming down to Dewey Beach in July.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So you got to.
Good luck with that. Oh my God.
I mean, my buddy's wife is from there, so.
Have they been keeping up with what's going on down there?
Me, no, but they live out there in the
like...
No, they live out there in the summers.
Oh.
Well,
have they moved out there yet, or
they live in Maryland, and then his wife is a teacher, so once the school year's done, she takes the kids.
Oh, so they haven't gone yet, because school's just now wrapping up around here. We've had these horrible. It's Delaware State University has been having these takeover events, and apparently they tore a bunch of shit up in Dewey, and they're doing it like on the weekends, according to what I've read, and like they just tried to do one in Rehoboth, and they arrested a bunch of people, had 4 people from Delaware State University.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll die down.
Charged with inciting a riot, and then the NCAA or NAACP got involved, and now they've dropped the charges, and now the town's being investigated. It's a shit show right now.
Yeah, I imagine that'll end once once things settle down. I think we're heading down there like sometime like the second week of July.
Oh.
But their neighborhoods, like, there's like the main drag.
Yeah, I mean Dewey is pretty
like
much just
down
on the beach, so wherever you're at.
Like the main, like the main road.
Yeah.
And they're just like, if you're heading south down the main road, I forget what it is. I think it's not 1.
No, beach is
10.
It's 113, isn't it?
113.
I think.
No, check.
No. Yeah. 113 runs from Dover down to the beaches. Think.
The coastal highway.
Yeah. 113.
Yeah. So, if I had to guess, because I'm looking at the map now, where the coastal highway like takes the turn, like the bend,
Milford?
to go on to Dewey Beach.
Oh, you're talking about down the beaches.
Well, yeah, I'm going to Dewey Beach, so.
Yeah, well, I thought you meant
there.
when you said bend. The biggest bend I know is when like you take the Milford bypass. You go around the outskirts of Milford.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking you're okay. I don't go to the beaches often, so
Yeah.
I don't know the roads that way down that much. If you take 13, well, if you're going to the beaches, you won't take 13. They'll have you take 113 down. But if you go down 13, you go through my neck of the woods, and then you'll take if you go that way, you take I believe 404. Wait, no, that's Maryland. What's it connect to it here in Delaware? You get off 404 goes through Maryland, and then it connects to something in Bridgeville and takes you over to the beaches. I can't remember that road number. I'm not good with numbers and road names. My dad's always like, "Well, you take such and such down there," and I'm like, "I'm not going. I have a GPS for a reason, bro."
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys don't even have an interstate.
No.
So.
No. All state highways.
Yeah.
And there's a highway that connects my town to Milford. That is just a 2-lane road. So our highways aren't very big. That's what always confused me is the YouTuber that lived up in New Jersey. Like, they would come down this way and they would always take 13. I was like, why would you take 13 to go to the beach? Like, because it's so much easier to just take 113. Just go, like, especially once you get past Dover. Like, if you get off Route 1 and just boogie on down 113, you're right there at the beaches. There's no reason to. 13 is a disaster zone, especially going through Dover and Camden. You spend an hour in traffic just going through those two towns alone. Now, once you get down past Camden, smooth sailing. Okay, I don't think my mic's picking that up. I was watching. My wife's on the couch snoring away.
Yeah, I sent you the screenshot of where it be going. So that is the.
Yeah, Dewey Beach is mainly just that road, so it doesn't matter where
Right.
you're at. You're on the beach.
Yeah. So they like just past where that intersection is, kind of near the.
Oh, you're talking about the okay,
So,
yeah. So you just so to go Rehoboth, you turn where it's Jungle Gym's at. To go like downtown Rehoboth, you turn there. So you just go straight down on the highway, and you're boom there.
yeah.
The Hyatt Place, Dewey Beach. There, that's where they had the fire truck convention at. I think it's the first time I've been to Dewey Beach since I was. Good lord. Maybe 10 or 11. I went down there last year just to take a picture of fire trucks.
Evening.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Ghost of Streams Past.
wow. You must have a question.
Maybe.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he just said maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ignore him. How long you staying down there?
We know our brand. TBD. So we took like 10 days off
Damn.
just to do like different things. So kind of depends on like our friend's schedule and what's going on, but yeah, sometime during the week of the 10th through the 17th, something like that. Week after 4th of July. No, 2 weeks after the 4th of July.
Just in time to miss that fair traffic. I think it's at the end of July this year.
Yeah, it didn't sound like there was a whole lot going on.
Yeah, July 20th. So the Delaware State Fair starts July 23rd. So you're just gonna miss that traffic. You'll see carnival rides coming into town though.
Oh boy. Like I don't have that around here.
Hey, it's a big deal around here. It used to be really cool when they came in on the train. The company they had prior to the slots being built, it was the only one left that was traveling by train, I believe. And they asked the fairgrounds to pave.
Ringling Brothers?
No, fair.
No, I'm
like,
joking. That was like the last. That was the last circus to do trains. Because historically, that's actually how the circus came into town.
Yeah,
Exclusively trains.
that's how the fair was for the longest time. The fair train would come in, and people would sit along the railroad track and watch it come in because you just see this long ass train with just carnival ride after carnival ride after carnival ride. And
Yeah, but they wave handkerchiefs at each other.
then that company wanted the fairgrounds to pave part of the lot where they set up the rides, and the fairgrounds refused to do it. Just for like the following year, they built the casino and then paved the lot anyway. So
That's pretty shitty.
yeah. now. We got what's it? Wage shows.
Yeah.
And they all just come in by truck. Boring.
Yep. It'll never be the same. Brandon, what's your big question of the evening? And also, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
You might know it, but your wife might know it better because she's an RN, so she might know that stuff.
He wants to slide
She's
into her
an
DMs.
She's an NP, actually.
She's military police?
No, N
Oh.
is in Nancy.
Oh, okay. I heard M. So
So she can do everything that your regular doctor. She actually does have her doctorate, but not her MD, medical doctorate. She does have a doctorate. She's a nurse practitioner. Anyways, go on.
What'd you fuck up on yourself this time?
Yeah, because lucky for you, the fact that she's an NP increases the odds
Effort.
that she knows what happened.
What about type of medicine?
What?
Type of medicine she might?
Yeah, one of her, I like to call them tisms, but she knows all of like that counter interactions. Basically, whatever med that's out there and what they can conflict with if you take like, subsequent medications.
I'm just making a mess here.
Counterindications. What do you got?
I'm just gonna send you a photo because I ain't gonna try to pronunciate this shit.
Does
Do
my
it.
Flintstones vitamin? Never mind.
To counteract with the gas station Viagra pills?
No, just an antibiotic, that's all.
I've had a boner for 8 weeks now. Should I see a doctor about that?
You're talking about like a common steroid and something else?
No, this is, I don't want to say specialized, but
It's been a drill.
For what? A steroid?
antibiotic.
Like a Z-Pack?
You're speaking phrases he don't understand.
I sent it to you.
Oh, I got DM'd.
I ain't gonna try to pronunciate that one. I know she did very lovely and said it right on, but it's like, yeah,
Yeah, but I can do that real quick. Clindamycin hydrochloride.
okay, smart ass.
Well,
And don't feel bad,
don't.
Brandon, because the shit that my wife takes, I just, when they say it, I just look at her, I'm like, is that correct? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right.
yeah, so you're taking clindamycin, and then what are you worried about? I can answer this one.
Does it give them diarrhea?
This is your
It does.
OTC. Your over-the-counter
It actually does finish because of the
contraindications here.
how strong of a dosage I have to take.
I don't need to know that you have diarrhea currently. Sir.
No, I don't. I'm
Steroids.
just saying that's one of the side effects. I just want to see what else it could be.
Yeah, steroids slash antibiotics can cause the rhea.
I just didn't know if there's anything else that's worthwhile to know.
No, I thought you were worried about taking that in conjunction with another
Flintstone
medication.
vitamins.
No, just to know what more about it. That's all.
Oh, clindamycin, just deal with it. Honestly, like if it's not killing you,
No,
the pros outweigh the cons.
really, got it.
Yeah, because like it can cause like stomach issues and like GI issues and stuff, but they're only temporary. But
Yes.
the effects that the antibiotics have on whatever you're treating greatly outweigh the side effects that you have. The only time
Got
you
it.
should, for clindamycin, anytime you should get concerned is if you have like inflammation or rash
Around the
swelling.
bowl.
No, or if your urine changes color.
Yep. Nope. Hasn't yet.
Okay. Then you're
Okay. I just didn't know if there's anything more than.
if anything, if you have the RIA, just consider it like a good cleanse, good colon cleanse for you.
Okay then.
With that, you don't even need a nurse practitioner.
Well, I figured it was nothing, but I figured just let you have fun with it, just for the fun of it.
He just wanted us to know he has diarrhea.
No, it's not. It's not for diarrhea.
I just kind of feel bad for your family, given the shower curtain.
I don't have fucking diarrhea. I've been eating yogurt, even though I hate yogurt.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? Where'd
She
the
said
yogurt come from?
She said, if you have a sensitive stomach, which I do not have, I just don't feel like having the shits all the time or whenever you actually have them. So I've been eating yogurt as well, and I hate yogurt.
No,
What's that
you
to
need
do
to
with the
eat
shower
something with
curtain?
fiber. Take a
I was
fiber
told it was
supplement.
to help the good bacteria by our asshole. I don't know the actual name. You know
The
what I
good
mean.
bacteria by your asshole is something I've never heard before.
I don't know the name of it. It's literally like a 10 centimeter tall or 10 centimeter wide piece. Seriously, I'm not fucking. This is real. This is actual real.
Wait, that you shove up your ass?
No. I knew this is a fucking
I don't know.
glory hole I dug myself into.
It was a glory hole that you dug yourself into.
Oh my god.
No, that's the best one yet. So.
It got awkwardly quiet after we were talking about bacteria around assholes and 10 centimeter tips.
It's losing battle, so I'm not even.
Well, I mean, no. Like, loose bowels has nothing to do with, like, the side effects of clindamycin. It's just more like you might need to add some fiber to your diet. So, like, taking something like a fiber supplement, like, might offset that. But no, it's not might. It will offset that. So they have, like, I think it's like Metamucil or like
Benefiber.
yeah, like a fiber supplement. So that'll like bind the stuff together. It'll prevent the rhea. And so if you do like the Metamucil, you can do there's like powder that you can mix into a drink. They have like pills, or you can do like I think they actually just came out with like gummies for it, so you can do that.
Oh, they've had gummies for a while. Well, I don't know about Metamucil in particular, but they've had gummies for a while.
Like fiber gummies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do that to counteract the side effects from the antibiotics. Which, like, I understand your concern because, like, they were talking about, like, putting me on a medication for something, like, based on my labs. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know that, but these are the side effects. And, like, how would you treat that? And they're like, oh, well, we put you on this. And it's like, well, yeah, that's the slippery slope that nobody wants is, like, because of the side effects from the medication that you're taking, you have to take another medication to counteract those side effects, but then that medication has side effects, and then it's just like, then you end up on like 15 meds.
I figured it wasn't that severe, but I figured I'll just ask
No.
just for the fun of it, since you guys kind of know.
No, especially if it's
medicine.
a side effect. And not like a direct problem. So like if you're saying that like, no, you just have the rhea all the time,
Oh, so I didn't even know.
I would suggest going to the ER.
Tell them you shipped your pants.
Like clindamycin hypochlorite. And that's a pill?
Suppository, that's where the 10 centimeter
So I
tip
did
comes
some
in.
recent. Yeah, it's a 300 milligram pill. That's why she said, because how strong of a dose it's
Oh,
just
the hefty one.
Yeah.
That's a big pill.
Wait,
I was
what are
gonna
you
say,
on an
'cause they all have-
antibiotic for?
It could be like a million different things.
Tooth infection.
What was it?
Tooth infection.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, dude. When's the last time you've been to the dentist?
Technically, I just went Tuesday. So
He meant
You went
before that,
Tuesday to
jackass.
get a prescription for this. So like
It
this
was
was
this-
the result of your last dentist appointment. Yes. And then here's the big question. Prior to that, when's the last time you went to the dentist?
a year and a half.
You don't have to lie. I haven't been to the dentist in like 10 years. So
Same, but same. I need to.
No,
my
it was a
teeth
year and a
fixed.
half because I
figured,
do
like-
dumb things and I chip my teeth.
when I have the time and like what I'm partially doing with like my investing is like I'm saving up a fund for my teeth because I had braces, I had all that stuff, but I wasn't under any kind of supervision when I had braces, so I completely like effed the entire thing up, and then by the time I got my braces off and got a retainer, I was in college, and I obviously didn't keep up with that, so I don't have great teeth.
I want to get all mine yanked and get the implants.
Orthodontures.
Orthodontures?
Expensive. Yeah. It's like,
English for us, bud?
you never been to an orthodontist?
Oh,
I've been to a dentist, so...
I know what orthodontist is. That's you said orthodontures.
Yeah. Orthodonture is the
Where I've learned a new
the
word from you.
practice of correcting teeth. I guess, if to use it as a noun.
I love orthodontist.
Yeah, but they practice the study of.
I didn't know that was how it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
The title, orthodonture.
So that's why they have. Yeah, it's a root word and conjugatives at the end.
That's a horrible name for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Blame my mom. She was an English teacher.
I don't think she came up with the English language.
No. She just told me that.
Oh, I thought I said that's a
like
horrible
root
name. You like
and-
blame my mom. She was the English teacher. I was like, I don't think the English teachers came up with the words. They just teach them.
No. I just came up with how to say them from my mom. I spent my entire life of like I'd say something and she'd be like, it's pronounced this. It's like, okay. And that's why I live in Massachusetts and don't really have a Boston accent.
You know, my stepmom grew up in Massachusetts, and she doesn't have one either.
Well, it's funny. I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was like, oh yeah, the level of Boston accent you have is determined based on just like how you were raised, like your income.
So they're trying to say
everyone
poor
that works
people
like
have.
Boston accents. Yep.
She does well hiding it because let's see. I met her shortly after me and my wife got together. So almost 17 years. And I'd say a couple years ago, so about 14, 15 years, I never knew like that she kind of had one because she never heard, and then she let slip one. I can't even remember what she said.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
My wife totally lied to me on that. She, like, when we were dating and stuff, she didn't have a Boston accent. And, like, after we got engaged, it, like, started to slip a little bit. And now it's, like, all the time.
Yeah, I was about to say that one day she came in talking about Taylor
And
Swift.
I'm like, whoa.
She
What?
accent fished you.
Yeah. Can you not?
No, I don't want to go to the Patriots game. What?
But that's what I do to her. Because, like, the TikTok people.
Yeah.
Anytime she says something with an accent, I'm just like, I don't quite understand you.
The one where she's teaching
I do it to
the
this
kid, like with the flashcards, and he's
Oh, I don't
just
watch them anymore.
Oh,
No, they're the biggest hypocrites, and I unfollowed both of them because, like, they're the worst.
they pop up from time to
The
time
worst
on,
people.
Oh man, there's one where she's in there and they're teaching the kid with flashcards, and he walks by and he just like walks in and he like takes the flashcards. He's like, I don't think you should be doing that. It's like, damn.
I mean, one, he's not wrong, but he's also, I think, from here. And I don't know. When you catch it in the wild, you're just kind of like taken back. Like, there are honestly times where, like, my wife's just like in the kitchen doing something, and I'm in the living room. We're talking to each other, and she says something. I'm like, the fuck did you just say? She says something. I'm just like, I don't follow. I don't know what you're saying. And then she says it correctly. And I'm like, oh. And then I just like emphasize the R in it. Oh, that's what you meant.
Your dick.
She hid it from me.
It's not her fault she grew up poor.
I just can't stand the accent. I know that's ironic. You're someone that grew up here. Like, I hate it.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't. Could be worse though.
Yeah. Could be. Yes.
She could like Taylor Swift.
If you're gonna have an accent, I think I would say like a southern accent.
Yeah, but those can get pretty bad too.
True. But you look at all the country, like the rest of the country, and they're just like, oh, I love a Boston accent.
I've never heard anyone say they love a Boston accent.
I've had people say that to me, and I'm like, nope. I spent my life trying not to have one.
I've been told from people up north I have a southern accent. I was like, I don't have a southern accent. Just because I say y'all and stuff like that, that's not a southern accent. I don't have a southern drawl at all.
It's a Pittsburgh thing.
You do have a slight draw, but it's not enough to like, oh, you're
See,
from the South.
these fucking Yankees, dude.
Well, I mean, like, you haven't said, I've noticed, you haven't said wicked at all.
In that Boston thing?
Yeah, I was
Wicked
joking.
smart. Listen here, dude.
Listen here, brother.
what you gonna do? These 24-inch pythons run wild on you. Dude, that whole hit. The shit that's come out about his death is fucking weird too.
Yeah. Tonight on Hogan Knows Best.
Well, so he's been.
I may have been drugged by one of my relatives.
He was dead for like a month, and then his daughter called to get like the autopsy report, and they refused to give it to her, and said that the only way they would show her is if she signed an NDA, which is fishy as fuck to begin with. And then like the nurse that was in house for him when he died has just disappeared. Just no one can contact him.
They were at odds at the time of his death, so it may have been in his documents that no one knows what happened except for like these few people. But it could have been contradicted by who he assigned as like power of attorney.
Yeah, there was like a
So
new will
like,
written up before. I think that this was a week before he died, and like
listen,
his
that guy
wife was
did
a
so much
Scientologist. Oh yeah, that's the
he did so much cocaine.
his daughter was in the Netflix documentary that they just recently put
Brooke?
out of him. Yeah, she had no part in it, and
Well, that speaks volumes. And like Nick died, so
no, Nick's still alive.
is he?
He was just at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm thinking Nick Carter.
Yeah, and
R.I.P.
like she did an interview after. She's like, there was so much, and then his friend, the one that the Hulk Hogan's banging in the sex tape, Bubba the Love Sponge. It was his wife, and they were like best friends for the longest time. And they were talking about, it was him and Brooke talking about how there's so much that documentary left out, and she's like, they just touched like the very tip of the iceberg when it came to the amount of drugs he was taking.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we know that.
So I'm sure he wanted to shield that from her.
Oh, she knew, because before they had their, so before they had their,
you have to understand
they're falling out.
that generation.
Her and his ex-wife were like doing all of his, taking care of all of his like surgeries and everything, and like they had to like hide medication from him and like destroy other medication so he wouldn't over in there like taking shit he wasn't supposed to. So they knew all about it.
Yeah.
The fucked up part was she wanted him to walk her down the aisle, and he was like, I don't do weddings anymore, dude. He refused to go to her wedding, then
Listen,
turns around
brother,
like a
that's
week
gonna be like
later and
5
gets
grand.
married. He was a piece of shit. He was an absolute piece of shit. And it's just from what he did to,
I mean, he's Florida trash.
yeah, just from what he did to, like, he didn't have any part in his grandkids' lives, like, by his own choice. She wanted him to have something to do with it, and left him nothing. Like, she's like, I have nothing. She goes, it got to the point where she called the guy who runs the Hogan Beach shop. She's like, you have anything that was my dad's that I could buy just to have something? And he's like, nope, Nick has it all. Nick got everything. And it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
And she said the only thing Nick gave her was a cross, a necklace with a cross on it, and she said I've never seen him wear. Like 2 or 3 shirts that I've never seen him wear. It's like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
Nick selling all this. Just like they did at WrestleMania, they did some sort of like Hogan statue or something, and people were trashing her online because she didn't show up. And she's like, everybody talking about I didn't show up. She's like, I wasn't invited. And immediately the WWE, I think he's vice president, Nick Khan, got a hold of her, and he was like, we extended an invitation through Nick. Nick was supposed to get all that information for you, and he didn't. So Nick's a piece of shit too.
In that tracks.
Yeah.
Because, like, he had something car related too. Didn't he kill someone?
Yeah, he killed someone, and then he's been in trouble recently because there's the body cam footage where Hulk Hogan shows up with a damn cane, walks up onto the scene, and is like trying to get him out of it. Okay, I think it was a DUI. I'm not certain. And this was just a couple of years ago, a couple of years before Hulk Hogan died.
DUI.
He shows up. He's like, "Oh, there's nothing you can do. Nothing.
Can't do anything about this, brother."
Listen here, brother. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay."
All right, dude. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna pretend you never saw anything like this, and you're just gonna carry about your way. Otherwise, you're gonna get these 24-inch pythons.
Go run wild on your ass, dude.
Not to discount his death, though, because that was tragic. Because if there's anyone that loved the Hulkster, it was me.
See, I'm the opposite. I never really liked him.
I loved him.
I never really liked him.
I didn't like him for his wrestling, anything to do with wrestling at all. I don't give a shit about that. Just off-field antics. Just, what are you gonna do, brother? And Hogan Knows Best. I fucking love that show.
Oh, you were one of those people, eh?
Yeah, I used to watch it. Come on, I was like one of the 5 people that knew that Brooke Hogan came out with the single.
Yeah, that's one thing they made clear in the documentary. That show was 100% to like introduce her music career.
And just like, I'm sorry that you're built like a dude.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see someone that's built like a linebacker do like dancing. No thanks.
Very weird that that show was created for his daughter's music career and led to so many affairs because all the women
he got out of
the women were like, oh, he's not just a wrestler, he's a dad too. Because he goes into his daughter's room and, listen here, brother. That's not going to fly with me, all right? You need to settle down and respect your mother. Eat your vitamins, say your prayers.
Your 20-inch pythons have nothing on my 24-inch pythons.
Gotta get in the gym, dude. You gotta lift it up. You wanna
Listen,
you wanna
Brooke.
have.
Listen here, Brooke. I was watching the tapes of the last episode, and I think you need to hit the gym.
Skip leg day, all arms, all day, every day.
You just need to build up those pythons. You just gotta do some bicep curls, big time. Build them up.
Yeah, brother. I was always a macho guy. I like Macho Man more. Ooh, yeah. The cream rises to the top. I got a line of cars behind me.
Old Steve Austin.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about like pre-Stone Cold Steve Austin days.
Well, they all overlap.
Stone Cold is the GOAT, though. Which is crazy when you think of how short his run was compared
Going over
to
here, you candy ass.
stomp a mud hole, walk it dry. But like compared to the other greats, like all-time great, his run was so short as Stone Cold. Like, of course, he was like stunning Steve and all that beforehand, but being the top guy was just
long run.
not really.
I guess not.
As top guy, like he was in there for a while because, like I said, he was stunning Steve Austin. And what was it? What was that? What was? Oh, the Ringmaster. And then when he became Stone Cold, it was that promo at King of the Ring, whereas you thump your Bible, you quote John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says, "I just whipped your ass." That was the start of him being top guy. That was '93, yeah. And then by the early 2000s, he was done. He was gone because he was commissioner. Like
it was like 2006.
No, it was early 2000s. Like early.
No, I'm telling you, because like we used to play SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, and
he's in the games to this day.
Yeah, that was my guy.
But he wrapped it up. Let's see.
And The Rock. I was always either Stone Cold or The Rock.
So it was 1996. Where did I get 1993 from?
Yeah. It's too early.
So in Austin 3:16, so his run at the top was started in 1996. And it wrapped it up in 2003. So 6 years. 6 years as top guy. That's crazy. And when I say top guy, I mean like the guy winning the championship, being like top build.
Well, I mean, everyone knows who Steve Austin is.
Yeah, That's what I'm saying. That's why it's crazy.
If you think of WWF, like,
he is a lot of
your goal.
Your current wrestlers' like favorite wrestler, and it's crazy when you look at his career being like he's only top guy for 6 years, whereas Hulk Hogan was like top guy for like 20 years, and a lot of people.
I mean, that's the industry.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it's just crazy how little of a time we had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and just how big of an impact he made. Like even you're not a huge wrestling guy, but you know Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know his phrases. You know he was a bald redneck from Texas. It's crazy. What?
And I love him for that. What? What? What?
I love that. It's just so unhinged when he kidnapped Scott Hall, and he's got him taped up, and he's got Scott Hall's mouth taped, and he's talking to him, and then every so often, what? What'd you say?
No, Stone Cold's best thing was, I think it was like Vince McMahon in the limo, and then him with the cooler. And he was just crushing beers.
Oh yeah, no.
Well,
you have the Zamboni. You have the Zamboni. You have the beer truck. You have
beer truck. Yeah.
You have him putting
limo,
cement in McMahon's Corvette convertible Corvette. You got him.
I thought the one that he allegedly had killed Vince McMahon.
Oh no, that wasn't Stone Cold. That was after Stone Cold. That was happening when Chris Benoit on his murder spree. So he destroyed a bunch of Vince McMahon shit because he ran something over with a monster truck, a Stone Cold monster truck. He destroyed DX's bus with a crane. But the Zamboni was probably like his most memorable moment overall. He just drives the Zamboni to the ring, hops up on top of it, runs across, and jumps into the ring. And that and the bedpan. When Vince is in the hospital, he shows up, beats the shit out of him, grabs the bedpan, and smacks him over the head with.
Did you guys ever get into Forza? Not to sidebar, but
I played it a few times. Wasn't anything. Oh my god, for me.
Okay.
It's a less fun version of Wreckfest.
Okay.
And like, if I want to play, that's the problem with Forza, because like it's in between. It's an arcade game, so it's in between. Like, if I want to do a simulator race, I'll do iRacing. If I want to do like fun stuff, I have a bunch of different racing games for that.
That's my problem. Like, I
can't figure it out.
Using my steering wheel with it, and it was not fun whatsoever.
Surprisingly, got a controller not been liking it so far for a controller. But just curiosity, that's all.
Oh, by the way, speaking of racing, PJ, you nailed it.
He is so
Kyle
confused. He doesn't know.
Kyle Busch's cause of death. You nailed it.
Yeah, told you.
Bacteria infection that caused pneumonia.
Oh, it was pneumonia? I heard it was a bacteria.
He died from double pneumonia. And here's what I hate about this.
All right, TLDR. Right. How do you get double pneumonia?
So it's completely preventable. right? Pneumonia, completely preventable. But the issue is that, like, when he has his schedule of all the races that he's doing and public meet and greets and all that stuff during the week, like, he doesn't have time to, like, rest and recover from illness. So they give him, and what's interesting is, like, 2 weeks before, when he was at Watkins Glen, they were like, he came over the radio and he's like, I need the team doctor as soon as this race is done. Because he was battling, like, a sinus infection. And it's like, well, at that point, it was just a sinus infection. And then 2 weeks later, he died of pneumonia. And it's because at no point during that time did he actually, like, rest or get an actual eval. He just had people, like, hitting him with essentially just, like, injectable cocktails of medications to keep him going. But had he actually, like, not felt well, like the average person, like, not felt good, went to the doctor, and, like, got med, he'd be fine. Because it was pneumonia. It just started out as a head cold. But he died of double pneumonia. That's insane. Completely preventable.
Wild.
Yeah. So I wasn't right.
Yeah, it was a bacteria that caused the initial
Well, I mean, it
sickness
could have been
that progressed
yeah.
into pneumonia. That's what one thing you said. It was he had some bacteria from he went on vacation somewhere, or you said probably
Yeah,
that's what the cause
manifests
was.
itself
So
in
you
different ways. I was more leaning towards, I thought it was something else, like a weird bacterial infection, but pneumonia is common. So, but I guess it leads to the same thing. So, yeah. It's awful, but like, that's the way the healthcare industry is these days. It's
have a good night. Sorry,
my wife deals with
we've
it all
been
the
in
time. Is you
conversation,
have,
Ethan.
like, concierge service. So you have, essentially, you have a doctor on call 24/7, and you can be like, oh yeah, I don't feel good, and their only incentive is to just, like, keep their medical license, but then just, like, give you whatever the hell you want. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'd like to think that this would be a lesson to that industry, but it's not going to be.
No, why would it be?
Because nobody really cares. It's pretty terrible. But on that note, I have to drop. I gotta go to bed. So I'll talk to you guys later.
You have yourself a good night, sir.
Bye.
How are we doing, Cat?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night as well. So, for those of you still watching, thank you so very much for hanging out. If you haven't already, click that like button down below. This helps me out so very, very much, and I do appreciate it so very, very much. If you guys do want to see future live streams, be sure to click that subscribe button. If you guys want to know if I whenever do go live or upload a video, click that notification bell. As always, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.